Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another vidIQ live stream. I'm Dan, and this is the starting soon screen. Don't you love it? Isn't it a great screen? We love that screen. Thank you all for being here. We are back again with another Wednesday live stream where we talk about a YouTube-related topic, and then we take your questions. And we're excited to get into it. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Rob.
Well done, Dan. You kept your composure very well then with the interest screen still there. There it is. I would have just completely flopped at that point and stuttered over my words and everything. Hello, everybody. I want to ask the audience a very quick question before we jump into this. I said to Dan recently on a podcast that hopefully you will listen to soon. Dan asked me how I was, and I said I was Fan-Dabby-Dozi. And Dan did not have a clue what I was talking about. So anybody in the chats, are you familiar with this term Fan-Dabby-Dozi? Because I'm pretty sure I've not invented it, but it's a very British thing from a certain decade. So do let me know if anybody is familiar with Fan-Dabby-Dozi. And everybody in the chat, do let us know how you're feeling right now in your own unique way. Dan, that could be the answer to any question. I don't know if anybody's responded that quickly to... Well, come on. No? All right, fair enough. I'm fine.
There are a couple of yeses here.
There we go.
I was skipping past them.
Thank you. No, I'll put my gloves on now.
Our special guest today is one of the fine folks who hosts our Clubhouse rooms all the time. It's Hawa Lewis. How's it going?
Hi, it's going good. What's up?
What is up? Tell everybody a little bit about you and where you hail from on YouTube.
Absolutely. My name is Hawa Lewis. My YouTube channel is Hawa Bunga. I do beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. My channel is Hawa Bunga. It plays off my name. People used to always call me Hawa Bunga in school. And then I just did a whole bunch of different things throughout my life. And people always ask me, how did you do it? How do you do this? And I'd be like, I don't know. I'm just a ninja. So when I started my YouTube channel, I kind of put two and two together. Hawa Bunga, Ninja, Turtles. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this needs asking in the community, doesn't it? Like, who is your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get that running very soon.
As a poll on the stream or as a community?
No, as a poll on the stream. Yeah,
okay.
we've got to do it here. Yeah. We're currently running a question here. Are you monetized? Less than 20% are currently monetized. So I think this is a very relevant topic that we're going to be talking about today.
Hawa, when did your channel hit monetization?
I think so. I started my channel in June 2020. I hit monetization in January. So what's that? 7 months?
That's pretty quick. That's very good progress. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to chat a little bit, and then we're going to be starting to take your questions for the rest of the live stream. So as we're talking today, be sure to get a note app up or something like that and just write down any questions you can think of, because we want to answer them for everybody live here rather than, getting into it now. And, we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to get to. I'm distracted because we also need to be showing off some of our fine vidIQ tools, and my browser on the back end here is giving me trouble, so I can't pull it up right now. But we have a whole suite of tools here at vidIQ, and we're running a special right now. If you use the link down below, you can save 30% on your first 3 months of vidIQ Boost. So definitely check that out. It's our full suite of tools that can help give you all the information you need going forward on YouTube, so you can maximize your growth. So check that out. I'm going to let that ticker run. And again, links at the bottom of links in the description. And then also Hawa's channel is linked down there as well if you want to go check out her channel. So there you go. Rob, tell us how rich people can expect to be when they do hit monetization. Since so many folks here haven't hit it yet, we know that they're all itching to start cashing those checks, quitting their day jobs. How much are they going to make?
That's a lot of pressure to ask a person who hasn't monetized the channel in half a decade. Okay, so I think the general answer would be is if you are solely aiming towards monetizing your YouTube channel and hitting those requirements, and you're not really thinking about how else you can monetize your channel at that point, then when you actually do meet the requirements of a YouTube partner program and you're accepted into monetization, I would safely say that the first month of you actually earning revenue on YouTube will not be enough to hit the threshold for a payout via AdSense. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is $100.
Yep.
Or is it yeah, it's $100. So I generally speaking, unless your channel is growing massively and very quickly and you're in a very high CPM niche such as finance, then you're not going to earn $100 in that first month. I'm guessing you would probably earn between $20 and $50 if you get into that point of monetization. I could be wrong about that. I'm sure Howard would probably have a better response to that being monetized generally, most recently. But I think that the main focus there is that, yes, reaching 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time is a magnificent milestone. And it does mean that you have a revenue income, but that's probably not the one that you want to be solely relying on and being laser focused on, because there are so many more lucrative opportunities. What do you think, Howard? How many Lamborghinis were you able to buy with your first YouTube check?
I was able to buy, a toy Lambo, the little miniature one.
You can start somewhere. I mean, that's not bad. That could go on your YouTube set and your backdrop.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, but Rob was basically spot on. So the first 2 months, I didn't make enough to actually get a check. I think I got my check the third month, and and it was enough to fill up my gas tank and get a Wawa meatball Subway sandwich, a Wawa sandwich.
Wawa is so good.
Iced coffee. Yep.
They have the best sandwiches.
Yeah.
And we're not sponsored, sadly, because Rob won't monetize the vidIQ channel. But that is another way, we could be making money, Rob. Just saying. All right. Sorry, I'm distracted with your these gloves, man. Yeah. Every stream that I do with Rob, not channel audits. For some reason, Rob has respect for the channel audit live stream, but when it comes to this live stream, everything has to stop so Rob can get his fingerless gloves on. And we lose him. A third of our panel done right now. I'm ready to go. I was also doing the poll in the background, and Leonardo is storming ahead here with 45% of the vote.
Oh, let me vote.
we need to tip the scale here.
Leonardo leads. Donatello does machines. Raphael is cool but crude, is it? And Michelangelo. Oh, what's the last verse now? He's a party dude.
I don't remember.
Is that right? Oh, I can't remember.
There's probably some channels here that maybe even hit monetization recently. We saw on the poll that some of you actually are. But as we were talking about, you want to make the most of that. And this really comes down to like the fundamentals of just trying to get even more views and trying to amass more of a following on YouTube. Why don't we go around and talk about some of the things we're doing to just improve views kind of on our own channels? And then maybe we can pitch the question to the audience, let them kind of weigh in as well. We'll start with Hawa. What are some things you've been maybe testing, the things you've been doing to try and keep the momentum going?
For views, since I know that I am a new channel and I'm trying to get as much views as possible, because with the views, that's how you get paid. That's where the money comes from. That's where the money resides. So I do try to make searchable titles. So I work really hard on researching. Once I come up with an idea and a topic that I want to do a video on, I work hard on doing the research and see what people are actually searching for, so that I can rank high in search and that my video shows up in search. And then my next step is to work really hard on a thumbnail so that people can actually click on the video. So that's my main focus for the most part.
What about you, Rob? I know we're always testing stuff at vidIQ. I know lately I think it's been retention over here, right?
Yes, I have been working very hard on my intros and my hooks. My personal goal this year, which I'm still failing miserably at, is to try and get audience retention at 70% or above for the majority of my video on demand content. Because I always feel as if you lose a third of your audience or for me right now, I lose a third of my audience during the intro. Then I lose another third of the audience over the next 5 minutes, or like, you know, the chunk of the content. And there's always going to be that natural drop off. So if you have, you know, 70% of people watching your content after 30 seconds instead of 50%, then hopefully you're going to retain a lot more of an audience going forward. And I think that's generally done by, as Howard was saying, making those thumbnails really crucial and important to convince a viewer to click, but then also reinforcing as quickly as possible what was promised in that thumbnail to really engage the audience. And I think obviously, I always want to say this for channels who are just starting out on their journeys, because they are so often self-indulgent, which isn't necessarily a bad or a wrong thing. You know, you're excited, you want to create content, you want to get excited about it, but you do have to listen to your audience, which is reflected in the data. So if there are certain topics that you're performing really well with on your channel, then make sure to continue to feed that small audience who's already joined you on your YouTube journey. Make sure to nourish them in future content as much as possible. What about you, Dan? Pressure's on you now.
Absolutely. The thing I've been working on my own personal channel lately is the pitch of a video. And it goes back to what we were talking about, titles and thumbnails. I feel like my editing is where it needs to be. I feel like the content I make would be enjoyed if only folks would click on it. And so for me, it's been all about the pitch. And I had something happen this morning where I posted a video. I worked on it late at night, and so I kind of rushed through the title and thumbnail part, and I struggled with it. And I'm like, this is probably good enough. And I posted it, and then got up this morning to see meh views, just way under the average. Thinking to myself, normally people would eat this up. What's going on? And so I took a few minutes, and just because I was more awake, I was able to repitch the video. I whipped up a new thumbnail, a new title, and immediately the graph started to turn around, and the click-through rate went up, got more comments, everything, you know, smooth sailing. And I've had to relearn that lesson. I've done that a number of times, and those end up being some of my most popular videos after I, you know, screw them up. They've been uploaded. People have seen them. They've been pushed by the YouTube algorithm. It wasn't too late to kind of change the pitch of the video. One thing none of us really specifically said, though, was editing. You know, and I think a lot of people, when they first start out, they hear that you need high quality content. They hear that you really need to make sure your editing is good and to a good standard. And I agree with that for sure. I see Hawa's nodding. It's very true. But the problem is, if your pitch isn't good, if your title and thumbnail are not convincing people to come into the video, no one knows that you spent all that time editing your video and that you've got it up to a really high standard. So this is a lesson I've had to learn over probably too much time.
I would like to quickly add, Dan, about your idea of rethinking your pitch, you know, after the fact, after the video's gone live. We do, of course, have a tool that can help you do that before actually going live. Let me just demonstrate it to you right here, right now.
If only I had a tool.
I'd like your opinions on this one.
Oh.
I'm about to make a video that is titled, "Is this the end of thumbnails?" Oh, well, that's a big statement, isn't it? The video's not gone live yet, but I've decided to make it very, very simple and very striking. And this is what it's going to look like against videos that are highly ranked and searched for YouTube thumbnails. So is this enough of a thumbnail and a title to convince people to click? I mean, I'm asking Dan and Howard here and the people in the chat. Do you think you'd say, "Well, ooh, what's Rob talking about here? Do I need to click on this?" Or is it too much? This looks like clickbait.
Video is private. Okay, well, it's not working, whatever it is. So
What's private?
I clicked on the video, but it's not working. So I would click, but something's wrong with it.
It's unlisted.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay.
You said it wasn't released yet, and you asked me if I'd click on it, and I was led to disappointment.
Okay.
And
Sorry,
the video didn't deliver on its promise. It didn't seem like the end of thumbnails to me. It seemed like the end of videos.
Okay. I wasn't up there with a Dan sarcasm.
I just wanted to troll a little bit.
Trolling.
I'm still finishing my coffee for the day, so sorry. I'll work on my timing. What about you, Hawa?
I think it stands out for sure. I don't know if it blends like
I'm
it's clickable, but it does stand out. Like I'll be like, what the heck? Like it'll make me
I'm
do a double
sensing
take for
huge
sure.
butts there. It's okay, but I don't want to insult Rob on a live stream. You know, that's fair comment. That's fair
I think
comment.
I would scroll right past it, to be honest.
It sounds like we need another poll.
Wow.
Let's ask everybody else. Let's set up a poll. Yeah, I know.
All right, okay. So the winner of the Ninja Turtles, by the way, was Leonardo with 43%.
Hey,
my favorite, Donatello, who does machines, he lost. He lost that completely. All right, so let me just type that in. Would you click on Rob's thumbnail? Let's try that. But anyway, Dan, can you even though like everybody hates this thumbnail and title, could you please sell this tool about what you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We're not only looking at the thumbnail, we're looking at the title. We're looking at the pitch of this whole video right now, and that's this tool. We focus on thumbnails with it because they're very visual, but don't forget titles are included here as well. And when you look at this video sitting on the home screen amongst a collection of other videos that might be on someone's home screen, I honestly think it does stand out. You know, it's the giant X in your face. It's unlike any other thumbnail on this page. I would personally click on this thumbnail. And then when it forces you to read the title, it raises too many questions for me. And I'm like, what's this about? Is this the end of YouTube thumbnails? Or is this the end of thumbnails, YouTube update? And then when you look at all the other titles on these videos, they have hashtags in them. They're rather long. They feel a little bit wordy to me. I know a couple of them are from actual, YouTube channels. So sorry, YouTube. But your title feels readable to me, and it's everything about the thumbnail and the title together to me is provocative. And again, this video hasn't been uploaded yet. We're using this vidIQ tool.
It is unlisted.
Right. It is unlisted. So you get to see basically a demonstration. If your video happens to be the top of the top, if it's showing up in search results, if it's showing up on recommended feeds amongst these Goliath channels, how does it compare? Will people click on it when you compare it to these other videos?
The alternative ideas I've had so far are a thumbnail that simply says, "This thumbnail is pointless," as text, or just one which has a smiley poo emoji. I just thought I'd throw that in and see what happens.
I think the smiley poo would go off. Honestly.
Yeah, with a wink. Maybe I should try that. But it looks as if, voting poll-wise, 70%, 30%. But is that just favoritism? Is this just essentially, do you like Rob question? Like, yeah, we'll just say yes. I don't know. Anyway, this is a tool, Dan, isn't it? This is one of the vidIQ tools that we love to use. You know, and now we're canvassing 200 people about whether or not they've clicked this thumbnail. You can use it on every single video that you have on your channel before you press publish. And it is part of our boost tools, which means that if you want to take advantage of this tool and the many others that we have, then we have a 30% off offer that you can see ticking along or on the bottom of the screen right now.
Yep. Link is down below if you want to learn more about that and get our full suite of vidIQ tools. So have either of you, I know Rob has, have you ever gone in and changed your title or your thumbnail, like before your video or after your video was posted, rather?
Yep. I do it all the time.
All
the time. So, because I know a lot of YouTubers who have like a habit of actually making multiple thumbnails before they even upload a video.
Yeah. That would be best practice, wouldn't it? But this is one of these things where I don't necessarily recommend doing that. Not because I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a brilliant idea, but I don't do it myself, so it's difficult to preach something that I don't practice. But yeah, and I like to just make content and push it out there, whereas others spend a lot more time planning and have multiple backups of thumbnails and titles.
I did want to ask the audience this question too. It looks like people are already answering. I do that too. Says D Sassy Diva. Does anyone else here find themselves trying to make multiple thumbnails for a video, whether or not you've published it already? Maybe you've gone in and changed it, but do you feel the need to have a few options with your thumbnail, kind of test them out? I'd be really curious to know. And it also looks like, just looking at chat here, someone was just accepted into YouTube's monetization, their partnership program.
Ooh.
All thanks to the vidIQ team. Now,
can you please ship all of the money to vidIQ then, please? Be careful who you credit.
This is why we don't monetize
Lambos.
This is why we don't monetize the channel. We don't need to. Everyone just sends us their money when this happens. I just want to point out that we are simply providing you some guidance. You did that. You absolutely did that.
Sticking with the Lambo theme, we are just putting signposts in the road. You're driving the car, and it's up to you whether you follow our signs. And if you do, we hope that you get there much quicker. And if you are driving a Lambo, you surely will in a blazing fireball of glory. Drive responsibly.
Jeez. I did once, and I asked the vidIQ Discord, still trying to understand what others will consider to be a good thumbnail. And yes, the vidIQ Discord is another really valuable tool that you can use. You can jump in there and hang out with the whole community of creators just like you. And the thumbnail channel is my favorite because people go in there and do exactly that. They make a few thumbnails. Which do you guys like better? Or they're working really hard on one thumbnail and they're finally like, maybe I should just ask and see if people would even click on this, and they post it, and there's a lot of different folks in there giving really valuable feedback. So vidIQ.com/Discord. Look at us plugging everything.
Howard,
just set me up for it.
Clubhouse.
I've got a general monetization question for you. Obviously, again, I think reaching monetization within 6 to 7 months feels like, we don't know exactly what the average is here, but it feels like that's slightly ahead of schedule. I would say that most channels probably reach monetization within their first 12 months. Which was the easier milestone to reach? And I guess what made the other milestone harder, in terms of watch time and subscribers?
You're talking about 4,000 hours versus 1,000 subscribers.
1,000 subscribers, yeah.
All right, I'll go first. For me, what?
I was asking how.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't hear the first part. I'm sorry. Over to you.
Yes. So wait, what was the question? Which one was? Because I thought
the question was, who is your favorite Ninja Turtle?
We both assumed you were just going off on a. You were just kind of going off on a riff. And we were just letting you go.
I'm sorry.
The question was, which was more difficult? Was it getting 1,000 subscribers or getting 4,000 hours of watch time?
Getting 4,000 hours of watch time was harder for me. So I got the subscribers first, and then I think maybe 2 months later, I got the watch hours. The watch hours, I don't know why it was so difficult for me to get them. I've seen people like they said in the Discord groups and on Facebook say that the subscribers was the hardest part for them to get. So yeah, I don't know. For me, it was definitely the watch hours. I was watching that at the YouTube tracker. So I was like watching it like, hello, are y'all watching my video all the way through? So then I started to kind of in my videos do bonuses at the end and say watch till the end and tell people tell people, hey, watch to the end, there's a bonus, or do little tricks to get people to watch longer. I'm going back in my analytics and seeing at what part of my video are people dropping off, what part of my videos are people watching, and then moving forward, try to make those adjustments so that I could get that longer retention.
Interesting. So it was easier to build, I guess, I'm going to put this in inverted commas, like a community, because I don't necessarily say that subscribers are a community, it's more return viewers, but it was easy to get people to click that red button because you were providing value. But then I guess there was a somewhat of a, not frustration, but a realization that, all right, I've met one milestone, now I need to meet this next one. What can I do to enhance or to quicken this process? And so you're saying you implemented watch time strategies. And I was going to ask, did you start making longer videos just for the sake of more watch time? But it sounds like the answer was no. You were actually getting people to watch your existing, the content that you were making for longer with strategies, such as, I've got a bonus tip at the end, creating intrigue and excitement, fear of missing out if you don't watch until the end of a video.
Yeah, and I do the thing, YouTube a lot of YouTubers do the thing for the intro where they put the most exciting part in the beginning and then they go to a quick intro and then I guess like it's called cliffhanger and then go into the video. That I usually put towards the end of the video, so they have to watch towards the end in order to see that part. And it has to, and I think I do that because sometimes people are like, well, they will skip through. Well, not necessarily, because it's going to be information or it's going to be some form of content leading up to that, and you have to watch it in order for it to make sense. So that was another like strategy that I used to get the longer watch hours. But I did not make videos longer.
Sure.
No.
Took on my original channel, which I don't remember actually. That channel started 10 years ago this month actually, and I don't remember its history at all at this point. It's too much of a blur. But I can tell you on my newer personal channel, it took no time at all to get the first 1,000 subscribers because I was doing a test with shorts, and they took off. And obviously, all the watch time you get from shorts doesn't count towards monetization. And so when I mixed in a strategy of live streams and widescreen videos that weren't eligible for shorts, it probably took another 2 or 3 months, give or take, to hit the 4,000 hours. But definitely didn't need to make longer videos. The live streams, of course, are long, but I didn't make even the long form videos that don't fit the short shelf were not any longer than my shorts. And it was cake once I got out of just doing YouTube shorts.
I think the average length of your videos is what, 90 seconds or less, Dan? Would
like
be fair to say
15 to 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's significantly shorter. And so you're very much where did I speak about this before? I think it was in a podcast. It might have been on last week's live stream. You're almost playing like the video game version of YouTube, whereby with every video that you make, you level up your multiplier bonus, so that it's not so much that you're getting 15 seconds of watch time. It's because so many people are watching those videos that it multiplies that 15 seconds by a massive amount, because you're directing your content to a very targeted audience who are really interested in this topic that you're covering, and they like this very quick, bite-sized, very consumable content. And I'm trying to say this as delicately as I can without revealing what your channel is.
I think you did great. You did a good job.
Yeah,
It's pretty amazing because if you can improve everything else, if you can improve the click-through rate of your videos, if you can get them out there more, it doesn't necessarily matter if they're shorter videos. If you're going for watch time, that will all happen naturally. I think for a lot of people, the idea that YouTube probably has between 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours is that both of those things will rise together. And a lot of people might have hit those around the same time, because you start out with YouTube, you're just kind of making some videos, you're figuring things out. But as things start, you start making sense of everything in your channel and your audience, it gets easier to do both of those things simultaneously. The average YouTube video being like 8 to 10 minutes long, maybe, and each one brings you a certain amount of views and more subscribers. I think, it'd be really interesting to see how many people here, which one they hit first, 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours.
I hope you don't mind me saying this, Dan, but on your secret channel, you've made about 150 videos. Okay.
That many?
So 150 videos.
What's your secret channel?
Good question. We'll show you after the stream. 150 videos, and like here's the average length: 14 seconds, 18 seconds, 29 seconds, 1 minute 45. So that would be considered a long one. 38 seconds. So you've managed to easily monetize that channel, but the reason is because 32,000 views, 32,000 views, 24,000 views, 33,000 views. So even 33,000 views on a 30-second video, you're probably looking at audience retention rates there of 70% or above. You're getting hundreds of hours of watch time from those videos because you've really nailed down what you're trying to do on that channel.
Yeah. Focus is incredibly important. All of these things feeding into getting monetized and then making the most of it. Before we move on to the Q&A portion, maybe we should quickly talk about other ways that you can monetize your channel beyond just YouTube AdSense. What about you? Have you explored any alternative ways, or what, if you haven't yet, what are you most looking forward to exploring?
Yes, absolutely. So I started actually monetizing my channel before I monetized on Google AdSense. So I was monetizing day one, to be honest with you all. I utilize affiliate links. So I'm a part of the Amazon affiliate program. So the associate and the influencer program. The influencer program, I had to wait because you have to get accepted into that. But I was doing the basic affiliate marketing, and then affiliate marketing for different brands. Certain brands have their own affiliation program, and that's where if you're talking about a product in your video, or you may be like, I'm wearing this Adidas hat and somebody might want to know where I got this hat from, I'll leave the link in my description box, and that link will go, to the product, but I'll get a commission from whoever purchase the product from my links. So I was doing that from day one. Another thing that I was doing was sponsorships. I started getting sponsorships after monetization. When I started getting a lot of views on my videos, brands started to reach out to me to kind of pitch their products or talk about their products in my videos, or do a review of their products. And then you get paid from that. So that's another way. And then also I'm in Clubhouse a lot. So my sister and I have our own club, and then we're also admins of the vidIQ club on Clubhouse. And a lot of times people are asking questions. How do you do this? Where, like, rate cards, or what's the other thing called, media kits. And I created my own and I sell those on Etsy. So things like that. Oh, and what I'm looking forward to, more brand deals. So long-term deals with companies and brands. So yeah.
If you were to put a percentage on how much AdSense contributes to your total income, what would that roughly be, Howard, if you don't mind answering that question? So no actual dollar amounts, just a percentage.
I would say like 10%.
10%. So it's really just the icing on the cake. Not even that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even look at it. Like, it's great to see it in my account. I'm like, oh, look, I got a little check here. But it's not something I look forward to. I just work on my brand deals, my sponsorships, my affiliate marketing, selling products, selling digital products. And that's where the money resides for me right now.
Dan, I've got a quick request. Are we able to set up an affiliate link on this live stream to sell your cat? And I'll get a little bit of a kickback. Would that be okay?
Yeah, the cat has a lot of miles on it, and it's very loud and annoying. I think I'd have to pay somebody else to take the cat. But
folks,
it'll be upset.
Send us your bids right now in the chat. We'll see how much we can sell Dan's cat for, and I'll take 10% of it.
This is how you monetize the channel. All the other opportunities you have. Trying to get rid of my poor cat. Oh my gosh. Nobody buy my cat. We should probably get into Q&A, but for a sec, before we do, Rob has something, but then also Hawa mentioned Clubhouse, and I don't want to get too far away from that.
Yeah. You do that first.
Thanks. So if you guys are enjoying this chat, these types of conversations are happening every single week in the vidIQ Clubhouse. Hawa, why don't you tell everybody about it?
Yeah, so Clubhouse is an audio-only social app. I like to think of it as like a conference. They have different rooms, and you can go in and listen to these rooms, or you can actually come up on stage and participate. In the vidIQ rooms on Clubhouse, my sister JJ and I host rooms twice a week. It used to be on specific days, but now we kind of mix it up a little bit. And then Viper, y'all may know of Viper. He does a room every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there we do Q&As, we do topic rooms. Sometimes Dan comes in, sometimes Rob comes in, answer questions. We do channel audits. It's very helpful information. We provide a lot of resources. If you have questions or you need help with your thumbnails, there's experts. We don't consider ourselves experts. We consider everyone in the club, everyone in community experts, because you have a YouTube channel, people watch YouTube. So sometimes you just know what works and what doesn't work. So you have other people to lean on and to kind of, get information from. So that's basically Clubhouse. It's growing community. You definitely want to come on in, get in where you fit in, because it's only going to get better as time progresses. We've been in there since December, and it went down a little bit, like when everything started opening back up with the pandemic here in the U.S. But now it's popping again, especially since it's available to everyone. So you definitely want to tap in. And then I got a question for you. Actually, JJ sent me a question for you regarding Clubhouse.
Not
So
cats.
we have a no, not cats.
Okay.
We have a series on Clubhouse in the vidIQ room. It's talking YouTube by vidIQ, by the way, guys. And we have guests come on every week. It's basically how did I get there? So we had an episode with Two Socks. He has a channel. I think he has like 200,000 subscribers, where he talks about how he built his community. Then we had an episode with Deja, where she talked about how she makes over $2,000 a month with under 5,000 subscribers. This week we have Colin. We're talking to him about how he went from 2,000 subscribers to, I think, 67 subscribers in just a year. So we want to have you on, Dan. And yours will be how Dan monetized a shorts channel in 3 months. Come on, are you coming?
I like that topic. Yeah, let's schedule that after we get done today. Here.
You need to add at the end of that parentheses and then abandoned YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
You did do that. I remember you telling us that.
How to outgrow YouTube Shorts.
How to grow from shorts into pants on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan, so we had an offer of $2 million there. Would you sell your cat for $2 million?
No, it just feels wrong. Not for the
priceless.
cat, but
Not
for them.
$2 million?
I just don't think somebody should spend $2 million on adding just pure misery to their life every single day.
I will add this. There is a price on Jasper if anybody's interested. I will sell him. So the things I wanted to point out just before we went to Q&A was that there have been a couple of updates to the YouTube Monetization Partner Program in the last couple of weeks. The first is that now there is an extra requirement. It's a bit of a common sense one, but now you cannot have any community strikes on your channel when you apply, or you're ineligible until all community strikes are removed.
Wow.
And the maximum length of a community strike, I think, is 90 days. Secondly, now there is a clear division, of course, between YouTube Shorts monetization and the YouTube Partner Program, in that there is a Shorts Creator Fund, there's Shorts bonus payouts. You need to earn millions of views and be in a certain country to possibly get a bonus. So if there's any thoughts of you thinking of using Shorts to get watch time or subscribers, thinking that there might be a similar monetization program in Shorts in the future, I just don't think that's going to happen. So if you want to use Shorts to get lots of subscribers very quickly, you can do, but it's just wasted effort making Shorts to try and get watch time. And finally, this I think is probably going to be a big update that I'm not really appreciating just because I've already got it set up on my channel. From November, I think creators in a YouTube Partner Program must have 2-factor authentication switched on. And for me, that just makes sense. You know, you have it set up on your phone, or you've got like a Titan key, etc., etc. But I've been seeing some people on Twitter complaining that this might be a real issue for them, but I need to do some more research into that. So that's just how the monetization landscape is evolving over the summer of this year.
Thank you for that update. What does it take to get a community strike? Is that if you're just in comments being a troll and just
selling animals on live streams is probably one of them.
You're doing that. I'm the victim.
It's your cat. I'm just a facilitator. I'm just a money man.
You just started auctioning my pet without my consent. You didn't plan that. Why am I getting a strike?
This is getting very dark very quickly. Will your cat eat my hamster? Dan, does your cat like hamsters?
Well, we don't have any hamsters, so glean from that what you will.
Hilarious.
So maybe it's time to get into Q&A.
I think it is. Let's get on to some safe topics here. With some
YouTube Q&A. So we're not talking about the things my cat may or may not eat or has eaten in the past. We are talking about questions related to YouTube. And if you happen to be somebody who is a vlogger, Hawa is here and you're in good hands. So,
yes, I would encourage people to direct questions to Howard and her monetization and blog journey, so that we can utilize her experience and knowledge while we have her on the show.
We don't have to keep you up like that, but
Yeah,
we can
I was
make
like,
it super
whoa,
clear
why am I
too.
so big?
All right.
I do have a question now. I always get distracted by people's backgrounds. Is that one of those sequined pillows in the background?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Could you write a message in it, some sort of YouTube? Like, can you write sub for sub in that pillow?
That's gonna be hard. I could do. Don't look at my pants, y'all.
Let's let Howard do some artistry while we bring up a question here.
So if you put hashtag question in all caps before your question, that'll be the easiest way for us to see your question. So we are just starting to pick them out, but sometimes y'all are just talking amongst yourselves, so it's good to be able to separate everybody out. Does a warning count as a strike?
I don't think it does, as far as I'm aware. This is where YouTube will give you like a first warning before giving you a strike for whatever community guideline that you breach. So I don't think it counts, but don't quote me on that. I guess I should show you where you can get this information now, actually, because we have our Shorts channel, which if I can just get to it, bear with me, I'm just doing some stuff in the background to make sure that I don't show the wrong screen. Monetization, and then share screen, and then window, and we'll share that. So obviously, if you are working towards monetization, you can click on the monetization link here on the navigation panel, and then this is a new thing. This bad boy here about community guideline strikes. So as long as that's in the 0, you'll be in the green, and it means you're eligible for the partner program. And this is just really underlines why it will take forever to reach watch time hours on just a Shorts channel. You know, we've clearly got the subscribers here on our vidIQ Shorts channel, but we're only just above 10% for our watch time hours. And I think this channel's been up now for 8-9 months. So I don't think we'd reach 4,000 hours in 12 months.
Probably not.
Probably not.
How many video uploads would it take to hit 1,000 or even 100 subscribers if trying to upload trending content trending gaming content? Now, this is always a fun question to tackle because the answer is different for everybody. I don't know if you guys remember. I don't really remember. Rob, you just pointed out that on my personal channel I have like 150 videos, and I'm well over 1,000 subscribers by now. I don't know how many it took, and it was a Shorts channel, so a lot of different factors there. But it didn't. Once the Shorts started to take off, it didn't take that long. Hawa, do you remember how many videos roughly you uploaded before you hit 1,000 subscribers?
Like I would say maybe 30.
Wow, just as few a number as that.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
What about you, Rob? Do you remember?
Blimey, you're probably talking about no, actually, it wouldn't have been hundreds. I would say it was likely 100 or less. But the requirements were very different back then. It was 10,000 views and then invite from YouTube. I mean, if I was to do it again today, or if the same requirements were in place then as same requirements were in place now same requirements as there are now as there were then I'm probably looking at hundreds plus videos. Probably a couple of years to do it as well.
So different for everybody in every single case. It's not about the amount of videos you upload, but the value that those videos bring to an audience, and if they are inclined to subscribe. It's good to have more than one video, I would say, giving people a reason to subscribe because they've watched a few of your videos. They're getting to know you as a creator. But yeah, I don't think there's a simple answer for this. I know a lot of you are probably here hoping that we have very straightforward answers to questions like that. Don't worry. You just need 50 videos and you're golden. If you don't have 1,000 subscribers and 50 videos, delete your channel and start another one. That's not how it works. So yeah, all very different journeys for us.
Facts.
How's your cushion drawing going?
Looking horrible. I was trying to make a X for your thumbnail.
Oh, okay. It currently looks like an Xbox 360. The Xbox gaming logo. Yeah, which isn't bad. Not bad.
That's a cool pillow.
Thank you. I got it from Home Goods.
Okay. So
let me plug my affiliate link.
I was going to say, affiliate link available for that one?
I just got monetized this morning, but RPM is only, wow, like, what is that? That's a fraction of a penny.
It's not much.
Yeah.
It's not much.
I'm so depressed. I don't know what to do.
Okay, so let's tackle the expectations versus reality questions.
Yes.
First. I think if you literally got monetized this morning, then you're going to need to wait at least 48 to 72 hours for YouTube to start actually putting ads on your content and for data to come back. So that number's almost definitely going to change. But even then, I wouldn't be surprised if looks like you're a gaming channel just from the channel avatar. I wouldn't be surprised if you're still disappointed by how much you're earning, because gaming channels attract a certain audience, which means that the ads that they sell for is a relatively low cost for advertisers. And so the CPMs are probably going to be quite low. And that's, I think, a lesson in not relying solely on reaching monetization and then treating that as your income. I mean, as Howard's already said, she was monetizing her content from video one, day one, and ad revenue for her contributes 10% of her full income. Now, again, monetizing gaming channels, I think, is a bit more complicated and difficult, again, because of the audience. But now that you're monetized, awesome, congratulations. Just see that as nice bonus income, but investigate how else you can monetize your content, be it through sponsorship deals, brand deals, digital goods. Thinking about creating that media kit. If you're not sure what one of them is, just Google it. You'll find out very quickly what a media kit is and how you can start to sell your influence and your social reach to potential sponsors and clients.
And memberships are good for gaming channels.
Yes. Yeah. Memberships are something you want to look into. Start small with a membership. I wouldn't go crazy with offers that require you to do a whole bunch of legwork. At least, really ever, but definitely at first, see what you can do with some emotes, especially if you live stream. What I was going to say was, when it comes to like a Minecraft channel, like it looks like this person may very well be, you have so much inventory if you're an advertiser to choose from, because there's so many monetized Minecraft channels. And that's just like one factor that's going to drag down the RPM for everybody. It's just, one more reason why getting into those really saturated sections of YouTube can be such like an uphill climb. So, bear that in mind. It is going to vary depending on what you do on YouTube.
This is a good question from. Sorry, Dan. What were you going to ask?
No, it's okay. I got one here, but I want to make sure I don't lose it. So I'm just going to freeze chat.
Sure. Spot D321 is less than 300 hours away from monetization. So congratulations in advance. He'll likely be applying in a week or so. So he's asking, he or she is asking for advice about gearing up to apply for the YouTube Partner Program. And I think that's a really interesting question. I guess from the actual application point of view, make sure that your channel is in as good an order as possible. Obviously, no community guideline strikes, but if you have them, you won't be able to apply anyway. I would just have a look at your copyright situation. I'm not going to tell you to delete videos that have copyright claims or strikes on them, but just consider it from a YouTube point of view. If the majority of your watch time comes from videos that have copyright content in them, what's the incentive to monetize your channel? But that's just my opinion. I don't want you to start deleting all of those videos, but that could be one of the stumbling blocks if that is the case. If it isn't, if you've got no warnings or anything to worry about on your channel, then brilliant. The application process should be very smooth. You may want to research how to set up your AdSense account, although YouTube does guide you through that when first setting up. And then maybe just doing some research about how to monetize your content. You know, what's the difference between a display ad, a banner roll, and an mid-roll, pre-roll adverts. You know, get comfortable understanding all those terms. Although what most people do is just toggle a switch and turn every single advert on humanly possible.
Howard, do you have any? Do you want to jump in on that before we get to the next question?
No. I saw someone say something in the chat that I agree with. They said, where did it go? They would deny you monetization on basis of too much reused content. So
true. Yeah.
That's something I was thinking about as well. And that was Donnie Brass.
So best of luck there. So we have JJ here in the chat. JJ actually hosts Clubhouse rooms with you every single week. So hello to JJ. How do you tell a story and keep people's attention in a vlog? What techniques do you use? We're putting Hava on the spot.
So telling the story through a vlog, it's just basically your personality, but also what the vlog style, what helps me in general is, like I mentioned before early on, is creating blogs that are still searchable, because starting off, no one knows who you are. No one cares about Howabunga. They never see me, you know, from a can of paint. So I'm trying to gain the attention of new audiences. So whatever vlog I'm doing, I'm going to also be doing a research and include, of course, things that's in my vlog that is searchable. And then from there, I kind of, so if I do like vacation prep vlog, like I'm going to LA, and before I go to LA, you're going to go shopping with me. I got to get an outfit for LA. Okay, now I got to go get my hair done. What style should I get? Okay, I'm talking to the camera as if they can answer back. I know they can't answer back, but it makes them feel inclusive. It makes them feel like we're friends, because I know that's how I feel when I watch my favorite vloggers. So like, okay, what style should I get? Should I get this one? Should I get this one? Even though I already have a style in mind. So then we go get our hair done, then we go get our nails done, and then at the end we start packing our bags, and it's like, okay guys, we're heading to the airport, we get on the plane. So that's kind of like telling the story, preparation into going on the actual vacation. And then my next video will be the vacation. And then when you create all of these different things, like inside of a vlog is different. It's my hair, it's my nails, it's my makeup. I'm putting in that title and in the description, and I'm talking about it in the video, so that if people are searching for the hairstyle, I'm getting stitch braids. Are people searching for nail designs? Are people searching for pack with me? Because that's big on YouTube too. I'm making sure that I'm putting that and I'm saying that, so that if people are searching for that, they'll find my video. So that's the techniques that I use to tell a story, and then also to be visible on YouTube, because I don't want to be making these videos and nobody watching them. Okay, now I gotta watch my stuff. Thanks, JJ. That's my sister, by the way.
There you go. You can follow both JJ and Hawa and hang out with them in Clubhouse twice a week, right?
I think you should ask JJ a question that puts her on the spot, and she needs to reply to it in 200 characters, and we'll bring it up as a message. So, what question would you like to ask JJ, Howard?
I don't know. Y'all ask.
We put Hawa on the spot to put JJ on the spot. That wasn't fair.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think about it, did I?
How many videos did it take JJ before she hit 1,000 subscribers?
All right, then. That's the question.
That's the question for JJ. We're putting you on the spot. Vlogging channels again. Hawa is here, has a lot of experience vlogging on YouTube. So now is your time to ask some questions. We all kind of have our areas on YouTube that we are more proficient in than others, I think it's fair to say. And it's always awesome to get a unique perspective. So thank you again, Hawa, for being here.
Of course.
What do you do to highlight your highlight? Oh, sorry. What do you highlight in your media kit if you have a small following? I can start. I would say that the following size doesn't really matter here, does it? It doesn't really matter what kind of following you have. What the media kit is all about what you have to offer, right? I guess the following size would play into that, your reach. But outside of that, what else could they highlight?
You can highlight your views if you get a good amount of views on your videos, and then also impressions. So impressions is the number that people, they see your video. They may not click on it, they may not interact with it, engage in it, but they see your video. So that's someone seeing that person's brand. Like, okay, I had your logo on my thumbnail because I did a review on your product, and this many people seen it. They may not click on the video, but it may give them the idea. Okay, oh shoot, I forgot I was supposed to order a new Apple charger. Let me go order that charger. Or you know what? I meant to get a new AirPod because I lost my AirPod last week. Let me go get that AirPod. So that's something that you can play off of as well. And back to affiliate links, if you're selling affiliate products, it doesn't matter how big of a following you have. If you get those views and people are clicking on those affiliate links, whether they're purchasing or not, it has data attached to it, and it'll tell you how many people you converted from your video over to that actual website. Yeah. And sometimes they might not purchase that product, but they may purchase another product from that website, or at least they may have like saved it, like, okay, I get paid next week, I'm gonna save this, I'm gonna go back later and stuff. So all of that you can actually include on your media kit and include in your pitch.
Yeah, it sounds like conversions is a far more valuable asset to sell in a media kit. So by that you could sell the fact that you have a very loyal audience. Let's say you only have 500 subscribers, but if you could say 300 of those subscribers are return viewers, it means that I have a loyal fan base, and they come back and watch my content because they trust me, which allows me to influence them more in terms of purchases. And I think also testimonials would be really valuable. If you can get comments from people saying, like, I love what you said about this product and I bought it and it changed my life, or whatever, that would be useful to include. Like if you could get 3 or 4 testimonials from your audience through comments, that would certainly be something to highlight in a media kit as well.
Yeah.
So there you go.
See, that's a testimonial right there of Howard's answer. She could, if she was going to be a channel about how to create a media kit, then we could use that as a testimonial for how valuable the advice is from Howard.
Thank you.
So I'm searching for another question here. Now I saw another question. No, okay, let's see. I think I found it. So there's this question, and I have both of these highlighted right now. Then there's this question, very, very similar. Whenever I upload a video, I only get views from subscribers. Only 2-3 more people watch my video. What can I do? And then this one, I have about 80 videos. I get good views, but I don't gain subscribers, not any watch time. So kind of the typical conundrum of like, I'm uploading videos, I'm doing the thing, I'm not getting what I want. I'm not getting the results that I want to see. And I think all of us can speak to this from experience on some level or another. What I would first say is that you always want to be trying some new things. It's good to have a rhythm on your channel. It's good to have content that people can come to like rely on and really enjoy. But you want to find time in your schedule to test out different things. For me lately, it's been trying out different types of thumbnails, different titles, different combinations thereof, changing up the pitch of my videos. I've been kind of going with the same thumbnail pattern a lot, and I wonder if I can get more clicks. So these are the little improvements you could be making. Who else wants to jump in on this one?
I've just had a quick look at the channel in the background. It is I think it's predominantly a YouTube Shorts channel. So that always extends the volumes, in that for a YouTube Shorts channel, you need a lot more views in order to convert them into subscribers. And Shorts operate in a different fashion in that it's not necessarily the longer the video is, the more watch time it is. It's how many times a person re-watches a short often, that they watch it and then they need to watch it again to either enjoy the content again or because it's on a loop and they don't even realize that it's playing itself over and over again. But if you're saying, and just another general point here, if you're saying you get good views but you don't gain subscribers or watch time, then there's likely an answer to that in the data. You know, whether it's looking at audience retention graphs to see why people are dropping off. And if they're dropping off very quickly, then they're likely not satisfied, which means that they're less likely to subscribe as well. But without knowing the data inside the channel, it's difficult to give definite answers.
Right. What was the other question? That she said that she or he gets 2 to 3 views.
So whenever I upload a video, I only get views from my subscribers. Only 2 or 3 more people watching my video. What can I do? So I'm guessing they're saying they get their views from their subscribers primarily, and then maybe a couple other people on the internet. Kind of how I'm reading that.
Yeah, I think that's come from making that searchable content or making content that people actually want to watch. Because sometimes people make videos and it's like why would I want to watch that? Like it may be just interested to your family, or it may just be interested to your friends. Like we always got those family members of like, oh my God, you should start a YouTube channel because you're so funny, or you're so good at this. But then, you know, they're the ones that subscribe and they're the ones that's watching, but no one else may be searching for that content. But if they are, you have to put those keywords and talk about it in the video so that the AI could pick up what the video is about, so that you could rank high in search and people could find you. Because if people can't find you, then that's probably why they're not watching your videos. But like Rob said, I can't really tell because I don't know your channel, so I can't go into details about it. But yeah, hit me up on Clubhouse.
A very interesting channel. Rob, I see you have it pulled up in the background.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid putting channels on screen because then it just turns into channel audits.
I know. I put it up as well, though. I'm just really curious.
It's a cooking channel. So what I'm thinking here is that a lot of your views initially will be coming from search. So I would be going into your analytics and I would be searching. I would be filtering by YouTube watch page. No, how would I do this? I'm trying to remember how you do this. You go to advanced analytics, then traffic sources, then click on YouTube search, and then find out which search terms are bringing in the most views, and then look at it from the opposite way. Look at which videos are bringing in the most search traffic, and then make follow-up content, because you know you're doing all sorts of recipes, and I'm sure it's particular recipes that your audience is gravitating towards and that YouTube wants to recommend more. So it's focusing down on those particular recipes and making follow-up content around that. If you want to get more people discovering your content.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you for your questions. I never found JJ's answer. I did scroll around.
Wait,
I did.
Get her off.
Here.
She said she was up for the challenge, and I think my question probably scared her off.
Go.
That's okay. I understand. I don't like answering questions like that either. I am looking for another one as I ramble. Let's see. Okay, this could be kind of interesting. This would be a really good one to bring up during an Emily week. But do you know if a reaction video will get strikes, or how to avoid strikes if you react to other videos?
Oh, this is such a difficult question for us to answer, because I think just that sounds a little insulting. A channel of YouTube isn't necessarily familiar with. Let's say a channel that does a reaction on the latest Spider-Man trailer that's just come out. I'm sure lots of channels see bigger channels doing reactions on that trailer and think, oh, that's fine, I'm going to do that as well. I'm just going to do a reaction. Hey, why did I just get a copyright strike when this channel didn't? It may be that the larger channels have agreements with the distributors of the content, you know, Marvel, Disney, etc. You're never going to know that for sure. And also, let's say that there is a copyright strike against one of these larger channels. They probably have people actually responsible for dealing with those issues, whether it be a lawyer or whatever. So again, they have more resources. Generally speaking, you should be able to do reaction content to videos and music because that would be considered fair use. However, the thing that Emily always goes back to in this case is that it's not necessarily fair use within the eyes of YouTube. It would be fair use in defense in the court of law, which means that it's taken many steps beyond YouTube's jurisdiction. And all that YouTube can do is manage potential copyright content with the tools that it has. And that might mean that the owner of a content is just mass doing DCAM, DMCA takedowns or whatever. So I'm sorry if that's a really long, waffly answer, but we can't give you a binary yes or no on this. The answer should be yes, because it falls under fair use if the video justifies it. But there's so many layers to it. It's like peeling away an onion that we could do. I could do a live stream of peeling an onion for the next hour, and that would be as accurate a response as what I've just given you.
This isn't necessarily advice, but if I were to be approaching a reaction channel right now and you told me to react to that Spider-Man trailer, I think I would go out of my way not to include every frame of that trailer in the review. I think I would react to some parts of the trailer. And because it's a reaction, you'd only show a few seconds, stop, and then say, oh my gosh, did you see that thing that the Spider-Man did? That was a pretty cool thing that the Spider-Man did. And then you play a little bit more. I'm like, oh my gosh, did you see that other superhero was in there and they did the thing to Spider-Man and he got hurt? Pretty cool. And you have to add a lot of your own personality to that reaction. You can't just play the whole trailer and go, all right, let's talk about it. And I think I think there's a lot of nuance in these conversations, and all of that wasn't even necessarily the way it's meant to be done. It's how I would do it, and I would just cross my fingers that I didn't get any kind of penalties.
I mean, it gets even more complicated because, like, 48 hours beforehand, there was a leaked version of a trailer, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So if you're reacting to stuff that's been leaked rather than the official trailer, would that be violating copyright even more extremely? Is it just a case of how angry the copyright owner is as to whether or not they go after creators for that?
Yeah, it's true. You could really just depend on who owns the copyright too. I mean, we've always worried in the gaming community that Mojang, the developers of Minecraft, could turn around one day and say, "That's it, no more of this YouTube nonsense." And they would be within their rights to, disallow people from making money from their Minecraft content, from probably uploading it in the first place. I mean, when you're dealing with somebody who owns the copyright to something, you're kind of beholden to their wishes. So it's important to do your research in every way that you can.
And then on the other hand, it's free advertising for the owner of the content.
Right.
I guess Marvel/Disney want people to be speculating and hyping up the trailer because it increases the awareness of the film. But at the same time, do they want creators talking about the Scarlett Johansson situation where she's trying to sue the company because of broken promises about how the content's going to be distributed?
Right.
Because that's, I guess, negative publicity.
There's so much to it.
Yeah.
So just be very careful. Always do your research.
Good luck.
And good luck. Yes. All right. Looking around for questions here. Thank you all for your questions and your patience today. We still have just under an hour of answering your questions. So if we haven't gotten to you yet, don't fret. We will be here. And Hawa, thank you again for hanging out for the whole live stream.
It's my pleasure.
Let's see. How do we get... sorry, I'm just kind of reading some questions here. We have kind of an interesting one here. For animation channels with less than 100 subscribers, what are your tips for marketing and making successful videos? How about if you ever talked to any animation channels, maybe in Clubhouse or anything like that?
Not really. We have a lot of tech and gaming. And we have beauty and lifestyle, but I don't think I've ever talked to any animation channels.
We do see them on channel audits from like time and time again, and
Mm-hmm.
it's always really interesting because these folks are really talented. They're doing something very
Mm-hmm.
unique, a skill that takes a long time to refine and build on, and then they start these channels with this impressive skill, but have to figure out, well, how the heck do I get any views at all? And I think because in this case, this person might be doing stop motion with Legos just based on their avatar there, and I would say that you kind of are set up for success in that if you're doing that, Lego offers a lot of very pop culture centric sets that you could be using for your animations, right? So if there's a new Batman movie coming out and Lego releases a whole set before the movie comes out, you can try and turn around a Batman related animation and really like do your best to make that searchable, But I would say any animation channel, even if it's not Lego, you want to be centered around pop culture. You want to be doing things that are trending right now. Marvel's What If, for example, is a show. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. You got the new Spider-Man movie coming out, Shang-Chi, all these different properties that Disney alone is releasing that you could be making content around.
We are not doing channel audits, but irrespective
Open up
of
a door.
animation, irrespective of you being an animation channel, there are two fundamentals that you should be working on right here, and those are thumbnails and titles. Because if you look at the thumbnails, they look like still images rather than you really focusing in on a character and what they're doing and creating intrigue. And then some of the titles, without complete context of what the video is about, I get lost. Like Lego Undertale, Lego Parkour. These feel like file names rather than intriguing titles. So yes, it can always be a struggle for certain types of channels, animation and whatnot. But there are still fundamentals here that I think you definitely need to work on as a creator. But having said that, 64 subscribers. You've already got some landmark content here. There's signs of positivity as well.
And
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Howard. Do you want me to bring it back up?
I would just no, I wasn't even going to look at the channel. Something I was going to say before. I will also find animation communities, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and kind of get familiar, create conversation, be a part of the community, and that way you can start sharing your content or start talking about your content with those communities, and they'll probably start following your journey and subscribe to your channel as well.
All right, sorry, JJ just answered the question outside of our chat. We can't pull it up. It took 20 videos to get monetized, but in 4 months. So 20 videos, 4 months, but content was highly niched and the channel was helpful, solved some very unique problems that people in that niche were grappling with. Also, there were over 100 videos on my channel before I started taking YouTube seriously. Okay, so we're not counting those. And then that channel is 10 years old with searchable content getting tons of views that helped.
So hang on here. Was the answer 20 videos in 4 months, or was it a decade and hundreds of videos?
It sounds like
she had
it sounds like only 20 videos.
20 videos. Yeah, she had a channel that she was just throwing up content on there just because, and then she started taking YouTube seriously, so she pivoted and hyper niche and focused on Pinterest marketing, digital marketing. That's what she does. And yeah, so I guess 20 videos, 1,000 subscribers. That was the question.
Yeah. How many videos before you hit 1,000 subscribers?
Yeah. So 20. Wow. Good stuff.
There's tons of good questions in here, Dan.
Yeah.
Need to go back and pick out the ones that I wanted to bring up.
This is kind of an interesting one. I think we can quickly tackle this. My channels became dead after a 4-month break. Now, am I kicked out of the YouTube algorithm? I don't get recommended even to my old subs. I'm kind of sad with the growth of my channel. I talked to someone very recently who had something similar happen, and in this case, it's always a matter of you may have lost those original subscribers forever. You may have lost them for a time. They might still be subscribed. They might get your content recommended to them on some off chance that it happens, that'd be great. But you can't rely on that. So start from scratch. Be thankful for the journey you had, and use the same channel. Keep your videos there if you want, but you do need to understand that you kind of are starting over after such a long break. I don't think the algorithm doesn't get mad at you. Hey, we had a deal and you took a break. You went back on that deal. It's not how it really works. Every video is going to be kind of judged on its own, but that momentum you have where you get those views really early on before it even gets to new people, because you have this audience, this returning audience, that is going to be gone. Hopefully not forever, but try not to let that get you down. I've seen that when people take a break and they come back and it's not like it used to be, they quit even faster than before. And it's so important to just accept where you're at, today in your journey.
This is a tricky one to either agree or disagree with, because YouTube tells us that you're not punished for taking a break. They've stated that on many occasions. But what they also tell us is that the YouTube recommendation system is designed for the viewer. And so it's going to find the right content for that viewer. Mm. So let's say this is a gaming channel. Let's say they're a Minecraft gaming channel. If you take a 4-month break, then YouTube is not waiting for you to return to show that audience your content. It is going to go off and find other Minecraft content to satisfy that viewer. And because that viewer is then satisfied by that content, it's more likely to recommend that content over your own. So in a roundabout way, you could argue that yes, you've been kicked out by the algorithm, but YouTube doesn't want to, I guess, admit that. But it's also from a psychological point of view, in that, maybe if you, I'm trying to think of an example here. Maybe if you're playing on a video game and then you decide not to play it for a couple of months, do you go back to it because you've suddenly got an itch to play on it? Or have you now playing other video games that you prefer to play? And you're going to, it's the seasonality of watching habits.
And the games themselves.
And the games themselves, yeah. So yeah, I'm just kind of adding on to that. That YouTube wants you to have this idea of, because of mental health, and obviously that is very important. That's far more important than making content just to satisfy an audience. There are going to be things that you need to contend with if you decide to take a break. Having said that, if your content is completely unique and viewers cannot get it anywhere else, then the moment you publish new content, YouTube's going to recommend it. And that's how I think the best creators on YouTube are timeless. They can take breaks. Mark Rober, I go back to him because he takes monumental breaks between content, but it's because he can afford to, because the next thing he's going to deliver, viewers are just, there's pent up demand and anticipation for that new release, be it 1 month, 6 months down the line.
I'd be really curious to see what you have to say about this channel. So how can a channel like mine that focuses on renovating a farmhouse and starting a small farm reach the target audience on YouTube? It kind of reminds me of the same plight as bloggers or vloggers, right? Because you as a vlogger have very specific interests, and it's, would you say it's not enough to just turn on the camera and discuss those? The videos need to have a little more of a target, right?
Yeah, I would definitely say the videos definitely have to have a target, but it can be, so if you're renovating a farmhouse, that could be several different niches, because there's an audience for people that enjoy renovation videos. Then there's an audience that people enjoy farm life and farmhouses, and there are people that enjoy shop with me. So you just have to find what people are really looking for and what you're more interested in showing. You can actually do all three as long as it's related to the same niche, and kind of create videos surrounding that. So one day you could do I'm renovating my farmhouse, come shop with me for the products I need to, build for the house, and then that could be one video. Another video could be like a portion of the renovation painting. Another video could just be like behind the scenes of what really goes on, like how people show the glitz and glamour on YouTube, but don't really show the backstory of really what really happened. Yeah, I dropped a hammer on my toe and almost died trying to put together this farmhouse. Doing that type of content could be interesting to viewers as well. So I would just say finding something that works and that's interesting enough for people to want to watch it, and not reinvent the wheel. There's probably other channels on YouTube that if not done renovating farmhouse, but renovated something else. Go look at those channels, see what they've done, see what works for them, and kind of replicate success models.
I'll tell you what, that's a video I would click on regardless of the thumbnail. I almost died building my farmhouse.
That's a great title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly answer this.
First, can we say
Sure.
I would say you don't actually have to have almost died to have that title. If something crazy happened, you go all in. Don't be afraid to go all in on something like that, because that's all about creating a good pitch. And as long as the video delivers on that in some way, you'll be good.
Yeah, they call it clickbait, but as long as the clickbait, there's really something on the other end, then it's okay to do clickbait. It's not okay to do clickbait where it's like, wait, this is not even about the same video. This is not what you said on the thumbnail or the title. But those type of titles, like, no, I didn't literally die, obviously, but to me, I almost died. Just being dramatic a little bit.
I died a little bit inside building this farmhouse. That could be it. This question is in Spanish. I unfortunately don't speak Spanish, but it does give us an opportunity to tell you that we do have a fully Spanish dubbed vidIQ channel, which has now grown to an amazing 168,000 subscribers. So, Cas Pro Mora, hopefully the question that you're asking here may be answered by one of these videos, or if you post a comment in one of these videos on the community tab, it may be answered there. So it's just an opportunity to let you know that we have a Spanish channel, and we also have a Russian channel as well. If you want to see that there, it's called, I can't even pronounce what the Russian channel is called. No, that's a Spanish channel again. No,
you're on the Spanish channel, but you're logged into the Russian channel.
Yes, I'm with you now. So it's vidIQ Han Pakyom, I believe, maybe. But yeah, do check us out if you speak either of those languages.
Look at block facts all over those channels.
Block
Someone
facts.
translate.
So there you go. Let's continue looking for questions. By the way, I am skipping over some questions that they're either not worded like questions or they don't make a lot of sense. If you've been copying and pasting your question a lot, maybe go back, reread it. You might want to reword it, because sometimes we just don't understand them, and we're just reading through a whole list. So we're picking the one that is the most questiony.
The most questiony.
The most questiony.
The Internet Explorer. So is this what you do now since retiring and being replaced by Edge?
They changed their logo.
You've changed the logo. It's now a pumpkin. When would you upload as an English-speaking channel, which is not big enough to have data on when your viewers are online? So what you should have at this point is location of audience. So let me just quickly try and bring this up in the background, and I will show you how this might help. Doop-a-doop-a-doo, doop-a-doop-a-doo. This is my preparing a screen little jingle. Doop-a-doop-a-doo, doop-a-doop-a-doo. So we will be looking at, I think, is it audience? Is that the one? Yes. So I think what they're referring to here is that because their channel doesn't have enough data yet, it doesn't show this, like when your viewers are on YouTube. But you should have top geographies. So this is where people are watching your content. So let's say, for example, that the majority of your audience is in the US, then first of all, you'll be needing to think about who your target audience is. If it's, let's say it's a younger audience under the age of 18, you may want to be aligning your content to go live when they finish school. So you might be publishing at lunchtime, perhaps, because that would cover the entirety of the United States. God, this is going to get really complicated very quickly if I go into too much detail. So should I stop there?
Well,
I'm worried now that I'm going to go into too much detail.
It's one example. I mean,
there's a tool for that.
Like when we post early in the morning, our content appeals to more, I guess marketing centric folks who are trying to grow their YouTube channels. We post nice and early in the morning. A lot of our views come from the early afternoon, as you can see. And if you were to scroll back up, and so, these are folks that might be watching on their way out the door when they're having breakfast. Maybe they get to work and they kind of watch in the background. A lot of people do watch videos at work, believe it or not. And then also, I was going to say, we can kind of move this chart around just based on our own actions. Now with vidIQ's channel, this is probably pretty established, but with a newer channel, you can kind of pick and choose, like depending on the audience you want to target, that's when you want to upload. And then as you upload a bunch of videos, this chart will fill itself out because you'll be attracting viewers that are typically online at those times. You know what I mean? And if you were to start posting at 2 a.m, at first it might not go too well, but maybe you would start attracting the 2 a.m. crowd or the 4 a.m. crowd. So, it's kind of a give and take, this chart.
Another way to do this is just ask yourself the question, when are you online watching content that is similar to yours? Because that means that you're the target audience of the content that you're watching. And Howard, you raised an excellent point here. vidIQ does have a tool that may help you decide when to post your content. If you go into the video editor section of a video, it will give you a list here of when is the ideal time. So ours is matching the YouTube data here, and it says that the peak time will be 6 to 8 a.m. LA time, because I'm in Vancouver. So yeah, that would help you there. And of course, that is another one of our pro/boost tools, which you can now get a nice little discount on with the offer code below.
There you go. Hopefully that helped.
Oh, and I wanted to add something. This is because in the small YouTube communities, I see a lot of like sub for sub to my channel, sub to yours. We even see it on YouTube, right? And we see it in the comments all the time. This is a great example why you shouldn't do that, because it will mess with data like this. If a whole bunch of people subscribe to your channel that don't watch content like yours, then that is going to give you the wrong data. Once you get to that point where, it'll tell you, it may start telling you, oh, you're supposed to upload at 2 o'clock in the morning, but that's for all of these random people that really like to watch Midnight Cats channels. So that's another reason why sub for sub doesn't work and could actually hurt your channel. So I just wanted to also throw that out there.
Absolutely.
Not that anyone here is going that. I'm just saying.
It's the reason I'm so annoying about the secret channel, because I know the audience that we are catering to are folks that have all kinds of different interests, not necessarily my target audience. And then it'd be kind of doing like a glorified sub for sub, where it's like, oh, I'll check out that channel. You get a bunch of people watching your videos that have nothing to do with your topic, and then they lose interest naturally, because that's what would happen. And YouTube is still trying to recommend those videos to not only them, but other people, that have similar interests. And you end up messing up your own metrics when you invite people to look at your content who aren't really, your target demographic, your target audience. So all these things to keep in mind. If you're worried about the algorithm fighting against you, don't give it a reason to.
Right.
Speaking of Spirit Wind, Woodstone, and Bonas, if you change the title of your video after uploading, does it change the algorithm? This has been a question of the ages when it comes to YouTube. Like, does changing the thumbnail, does changing the title reset how YouTube judges it? And the answer is no, but, and what I mean by that is, if you change the title and the thumbnail, it doesn't automatically mean that it's going to get a new lease of life in search or browse or whatever, but it's going to change how potential viewers interpret it, because obviously you're changing the pitch, you're changing the messaging. And if that then means that people click on it more or click on it less, then that's going to influence the YouTube recommendation system. Yep. But it's not like a flicking a switch. It's a change that could start to impact how the video performs over a period of time. And, you know, Dan and Howard, you've talked about already how you've changed titles and thumbnails and you've started to see changes, but it's not necessarily because of an algorithm thing instantly. No. It's because of how people are reacting to it when they open up their YouTube app or they visit a homepage or the subscription feed.
I was in a mad rush this morning because I looked to see the performance of my video was not good. And I knew the longer that persisted, the more recommendations I was burning because the video was being put out to people who were on at that time. They were seeing it. They weren't clicking on it. So I had to whip up something really fast to try and turn that ship around. Of course, it helps to have an idea. I knew what I wanted to do to make that change. But yeah, the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be because you want that initial audience to watch your content because that's going to give all the signals you need for the video to reach the new audience. You could change it any time and maybe you'll get that slow trickle, but I would recommend as soon as you feel like something's not right, that might be the time to do it. What were you going to say, Hala? Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was just totally agreeing with you all. Like the algorithm doesn't change. YouTube indexed that video. YouTube already knows what that video is about from what you're saying in the video to your title to your description. So it's not going to change anything in that aspect, but definitely what Rob and Dan already touched on, that it will just change how the viewers see it and then give them more motivation to either click on it or don't.
Can I just give you one more example here? This video was released a couple of months ago, and it was originally titled Under 1,000 Subscribers, Try This, because I wanted to try and give the concept of identifying a particular target audience and then the fear of missing out. You know, this is who you are. I want you to try this. And the performance of this video to begin with was absolutely incredible. Like you can see how against typical performance, it just went to the moon. But now it's dead. It's getting 100 views every 48 hours. So what I've decided to do is now I think I've got the emotional kick from the video. I'm going back to very much the usual formula for one of these videos, which is how to get 1,000 subscribers, 3 simple strategies. So I'm now going after search intent because I feel as if, you know, I think you used a good word there, Dan. You've burned off a particular type of recommendation. So on this one, I've shifted from suggestive views or browse features to search traffic. And I don't know if that's going to kick in. I'm still waiting to find out the results here. But that's one example of how I've decided that I need to make a change to this video because I want to target a different type of human response to it.
You know, Rob, that's crazy. I started doing that with my shorts because I would title my shorts something that's interesting, something that like once you go on the short shelf, people are going to want to watch it because like, what is she talking about? You know how the short shelf looks on your phone. And then, you know, it'll take off. And then once it's off, it dies and you get no views, like none. Well, in my case, like if I'll get that 1,000 whatever views and it'll completely die. And then I'm like, hey, this is dead. It's not going back on the short shelf. I don't think it is. If it is, whatever. But then I'll go back and change the title to something that's more searchable for that shorts instead of the, oh my God, check this out. That's not searchable. That's just clickbaitish.
This one was a very similar connected video, but it was always titled How to Get 1,000 Subscribers. And then they added that curious intrigue of with one video in 1 week. And if you look at the analytics here, same thing happened. It performed really well, not as well as the previous video, but because it's always had that search intent, it's still getting search traffic now. So I assume that's going to continue to do well in months, potentially even years. But now I'm trying to rescue that other video because I had a very different emotional strategy with it.
So this was a similar question, so I grabbed it really quick. Can you delete a good video that didn't do well and re-upload it with a new title and thumbnail? So I would just say, yeah, you can. While you're deleting it, though, before you do, I would gather all the data you can about it, because you might see, if you look at your retention on that video from the views you did get, were there any dips?
Yeah.
Was there anything, if you're going to go back and re-upload it anyway, you might as well give it an even better chance to get pushed further, because if you had a dip somewhere in the middle and a bunch of people dropped off early, it's not going to be much better the next time around. So really go in and study that video if that's what you've decided to do, if you want to give it another chance. You know, I've definitely done that where content early on didn't do too well. I'm like, well, wait a minute, come on. And later I learned, okay, I can see why this didn't do well. Delete the video, recut it, and then put it back up, maybe even with a new title and thumbnail, to see it, you know, do what I was hoping it would do all along, you know. So it also depends, how much effort do you really want to spend. I don't do that a whole lot because I could just be working on my next video.
Yeah, it's always that case, isn't it? When we see a question like this, where I made a good video, or this video is really good, my response to that always is going to be, without seeing the video itself, in whose opinion? In whose opinion is this a good video? If it's in your opinion, well, the data seems to suggest not. But regardless of that, let's just say it is a good video. I agree with you, Dan. I wouldn't just re-upload it and not make any changes. I would look to make it even better. Or if you're a much better video creator now, I might remake it to make it even better. And as you say, is the content as relevant today as it was when you first uploaded it? Because let's say it's something about a cool Minecraft thing that was really trending 3 or 4 months ago. Or let's say it's an Among Us video. You know, you think you made a really good Among Us video. It didn't do well then. I'm going to try again now. Well, guess what? I would assume more than half of the Among Us audience that was watching that content 6 months ago has moved on. So you might be trying to revive a dead YouTube horse, so to speak.
Let's have this discussion. Do you recommend asking people to subscribe in your videos to gain subscribers? I'm at 600 right now, and I have over 4,000 hours, been uploading for 2 years. So if yes, because Hawa's already, you're nodding your head.
Yes.
How do you go about that? What's like best practices?
Best of practice, I've seen people do it different ways, and I'm like, oh wow, like, because I know I was watching a channel for so long. YouTube just kept recommending this channel to me because they knew I liked their videos, and I wasn't subscribed. And then in the middle of her video, like a middle of like her telling a story or talking about something, she was like, oh, by the way, if you like this, if you like my channel, if you like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I looked down, I was like, oh my God, I'm not subscribed to this channel, but I've been watching her for so long. So sometimes people don't even know or realize that they're not subscribed to your channel, especially if they're viewers. YouTube will recommend your videos to them. So you definitely want to ask. I would say I've seen people do it different times, different ways with animation in the bottom or somewhere on the screen. Rob does it in the middle of sentences, or once you're about to get to the peak of the video, towards the end of the video, but not too much at the end, because a lot of people drop off and never even watch the end, but you can still put it back there just in case. I know people don't like to say it in the beginning because it's like, well, they don't know me yet. Why would they want to subscribe? Let me add a value. Let me tell them what my channel's about. Let me give them what they came to see, and then ask them for their subscribers. I know there's some channels or people I've spoken to where I feel like they should have more subscribers than they do. But when I watch their videos, I realize that they don't ask for subscribers at all in their video, not with animation, not verbally at all. And I'm like, okay, well, that's why you don't have any subscribers, because you're not asking. As long as you're not like, hey, subscribe to my channel. Hey, subscribe to my channel. Hey, you. Did you subscribe? Did you subscribe? Did you subscribe? That gets annoying. So you just want to do it naturally and flow with the video.
I thought that was pretty cool, actually. I think I'm now thinking of doing an entire vidIQ channel where you subscribe, right? Why have you not subscribed? Why is that red button grey? Why does it say subscribe instead of subscribed? Do you reckon I could do that for half an hour as a live stream?
Yes.
It might work though, honestly.
Dan, you don't you don't ask for subscribers at all on your content, do you?
Sometimes. I try not to do it too much. Yeah, sometimes I use an animation at the end of a video, and sometimes, like I've been testing with different projects I'm doing, if there's a progression to them, I'll say, in the end of my whole video, which again we've established they're very short videos, I say in next video or over the next videos I'm going to be doing this, so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss that. And I don't hammer it any more than that. I make it a sentence, if not even that. And I think that there's a lot of value in reminding people. I noticed a big jump in subscribers in those videos, so I think there is a lot of value in reminding people. But I think you if you do it every single time and it just becomes part of the content, I think people might become kind of numb to it. Right. This is just my own personal theory here. I don't really know. Again, I'm not asking a lot these days, but the other thing I would say is you don't want to ask when you haven't provided any value. As a lot of you know, I've done a video recently where I reviewed videos, and the thing I kept seeing over and over again were these really long intros. And in those intros, well, people were kind of rambling on about all the things they did that week, and before you even get to the video, then they're asking for subscribers. But still, like, you're a minute in and nothing's happened. So you want to make sure that you do something worth subscribing to before asking and reminding people to subscribe.
I'm having a continued existential crisis with subscribers. Right now, and for the next 50 days, I am acutely aware of subscribers because we are very close to hitting 1 million subscribers. Please subscribe. Hit that red button now. Thank you very much. Please subscribe. But if anybody's watched my videos in general, you will know that I have somewhat of a disdain for subscribers, in that I'm much more interested in return viewers. And for about the last 12 months, I've had a very half-hearted way of asking people to subscribe, in that I make my video in its entirety and I have this, I think, 5 to 7 second lower third of the subscribe animation, and I just drop it in where I think I've just provided some value. So I never actually reference in the video itself, please subscribe, or if you want more, make sure to subscribe. It's just a lower third. And as you say, Dan, it could be that people are just completely numb to that lower third now. And I even need to drop it completely or be a little more explicit. Like, if you enjoyed this, then make sure to subscribe for more YouTube education. I would also just offer Nate's opinion on this. He is from Channel Makers. He's a very good friend of ours, one of our vidIQ partners. And he consciously stopped asking people to subscribe in his videos. And he asked people instead now to boop, which is to press a like button on his videos. So he's kind of turned that into a ritual almost. So do check out his videos for some really good, interesting conversations about it.
Yeah.
One more thing. If you ask in a unique way, I know on TikTok, I don't ask people to follow me. I say, let's be friends. So that's how people, every time I do that in those videos, I get so many followers on my TikTok. So I'll be like, oh, let's be friends. And they'll follow me.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you can somehow make an event out of that call to action, whether you do something unique or stupid, because then people look forward to you doing that. And it also has the side impact of reminding them that if they haven't subscribed, then maybe they can do. But I just never get around to thinking about stuff like that.
Can YouTube Shorts make your channel dead? Because they made one of my channels dead.
I guess the answer is yes.
Well, you just answered.
Yeah.
I always the language of dead channel always triggers me a little bit, because it's I guess it really is in the eye of the beholder. But I don't know what's the metric. What is a dead channel? Is it you were getting 100 views a video and now you're getting 0? Were you getting a bunch of subscribers and now you're not? Like, what, you know what I mean? Have you even uploaded enough shorts to have it really start to take off? Because I think with YouTube Shorts, you have to kind of feed it a little bit. You can't just upload one and then hope magic happens. What do you guys think? What's the best way we can approach this?
I think YouTube Shorts could certainly change the dynamic of a channel and the audience on it in ways that aren't necessarily intended. Like if you were making long form content for 3 years and then all of a sudden you start making shorts content that the audience doesn't react to, then yeah, that could potentially impact the performance of it. Again, you have to remember that it's not necessarily a YouTube algorithm deciding that now this channel's making shorts, we're not going to promote it as much. It's a fact that you started making different content that isn't resonating as well with your existing audience, and that's why the channel is dying off. I mean, I'm looking at the channel that they've got here, Dartha Hunter. There's not that many videos on the channel, and there are some shorts that did perform well a couple of months ago and maybe not quite as well now. You've also got to appreciate that the landscape of shorts is changing very, very quickly. Now that shorts are monetizable, there are going to be way more subscribers jumping into this area of YouTube to try and start making monetizable content. So the competition is just going to get better and better. And that means that, 6 out of 10 YouTube shorts are going to be much lower down the recommendation list versus the top quality YouTube shorts.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could also feel like your channel is dead after trying shorts if you have a bunch of successful shorts and then you pivot back to long form content, only to find that all those new subscribers you got from the shorts aren't interested, which is something that continues to, happen and a lot of creators struggle with. And it just happens to be that shorts appeal to a certain kind of viewer, people who want to watch short form content, and people who are maybe looking for a quick laugh hanging out on the short shelf. So you got to consider all these factors. But I wouldn't say because you had views on shorts and you don't have them on your long form videos that your channel's dead. It's just different sections of YouTube, and they're treated in different ways. They appeal to different people.
Yep.
So
agree.
Thank you for coming.
So speaking of getting triggered, Dan, this is kind of question that triggers me a little bit. Zuvo asks, is it normal to see no results after uploading each week for 2 months? So my first question here would be, what do you define as no results? Would that be 0 views and 0 subscribers after uploading 12 videos or whatever in 2 months? I guess the answer to that would be yes. However, #this is not an audit. Let's see where this channel currently is. All right, after 2 months, they've got 1,000 subscribers. That looks like some pretty good results to me.
Yeah.
Some of these videos are getting double-digit views. Now, a query I would have is, how does this channel have 1,000 subscribers given the view counts and given how many videos are published? There seems to be something a little bit curious there. So that might be distorting the figures. But you've got a video here with over 50 views. You've got some that are over 100 views. When we're talking about Fortnite, which is an extremely competitive area of YouTube, some channels don't achieve this after an entire year of making content. So there are promising results here, but you've also got to start looking objectively at your channel. I mean, me looking at your channel, I think there's a bit of thumbnail wallpaper here with this reaction, this what looks to be a miner reacting to something. That it's too repetitive. So I'm now confused as to, if I was a viewer, have I seen this video already? I can't quite remember. But yeah, I would say that you are seeing results. And how much have you looked at your analytics here in terms of click-through rates and watch time? Because those are 2 things that you've probably got a bit of data on by now. Sorry, that was my triggered rambling response there.
Yeah, and with the banner, to answer your question, I feel like they've been soliciting subscribers. So no offense, but that's
it. It does feel like a channel about getting subscribers. It doesn't, when you look at those 2 things together, it doesn't feel like a channel that's interested in showing me things about Fortnite. It's not going to provide much value. And see, the about section, this old thing where people like have the subscribers and the check marks and everything else. I've done it. I hit 1,000. You know what I mean? So it like
so this is curious as well. I hit that in February. The channel started in 2016. All this video is 2 months old. So it looks like this channel's gone through different reincarnations of content and started again.
And that, I think that you've been uploading for 2 months, and I think just by looking at this, and I know this is turned into a straight up audit now, but I got to say this, you haven't tested anything new really. All these videos feel like, the same as the last one, and you want to make content that an audience gloms onto, and that audience is going to want similar content, but you haven't really tried to change your thumbnail strategy. You haven't really tried to change your titling strategy. I don't know what the content itself is like, but you want to be building and building and building. So if you're going to work for 2 months, try, if the templated thing you're doing isn't getting you the results you want, you have to keep testing new things and keep trying new things.
Boom. Audit
mic
complete.
drop. All right. Let's see what we got here. We have about 10 minutes left. All right. A lot of questions I'm seeing about, I have this many views, not a lot of subs, things like that. We've definitely talked about that a lot today.
This might be the fourth question from Our Simple Story, but they're
There's
asking all the right questions.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's been more than 4.
Sorry? Tama, are you there?
I think it's been. Oh, can you hear me?
You cut out for a sec, but you're back.
Oh, I said I think it's been more than 4.
Yeah, probably. How important is branding when looking for sponsorship and brand deals? So I'm guessing branding on like the channel, the avatar, things like that. Anyone want to jump in?
I would, because I've never had to. I guess because I am the sponsorship man at vidIQ, so I'm at the other end of this. Of course, vidIQ has very strong branding, or we like to think we have very strong branding. So it is pretty important and pretty crucial that viewers associate with your content, sometimes subconsciously. Like they see a thumbnail that they recognize even without necessarily looking too deeply into that thumbnail and knowing, oh, that's a Howard video. I'm going to click on that because I know I'm going to love enjoying watching their content. Oh, that's Dan's secret channel, but I recognize the thumbnail. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to watch it because I know I'm going to be entertained for 27 seconds.
Wait till everybody finds out that channel's literally named Dan's secret channel. They're gonna be so mad. I would say that, I mean, at vidIQ we work with a lot of creators, and their avatar and things like that weren't really what we're looking at. It was kind of just the way everything fit together, at the end of the day. But we, if you're worried about like the physical branding on your channel, I would say that your channel needs to be uniquely you and recognizable. It's not necessarily, oh, I need a logo because I'm trying to go after sponsors. That's not depending on what you do on your channel, that might not even really work.
Just bringing up, again, we're not doing audits, but this is their channel. Do you see a strong evidence of branding here? And I kind of see elements of this with the fonts and the colors. Although I feel as if grey and white is a little boring as a branding potentially. I don't see the family images. They're not particularly strong, so I don't see, I guess the heroes of a family too much on the thumbnails right now. I need a good example of a really big family channel. Just who would I search for?
I don't know a lot of family channels. It's hard.
Right, I'm gonna.
I wish JJ was here. She watched this.
I'm just gonna put photos. There's a misspell family channel and see what results we get.
Family yeah, I don't know if that's gonna get you.
That was the Royal Family channel. That's not actually all right. The Ace family. All right, this looks like a family to me. So, do you think this channel is better branded than Our Simple Story? And I guess what you could say is that the family is always very much the focus of the thumbnails, and the thumbnails themselves are very bright. They tend to not use text at all, but most of the titles are capitalized, which is kind of a bit of branding in itself in a very subtle way.
Yeah. Definitely consistency, what's
the anchor? What's the anchor here in all of these thumbnails? And it feels to me like mostly the anchor is the father. Does he seem to be in most of his thumbnails? Not all of them. Not all of them.
I think they're too big of a channel. Not too big.
It does seem like they could kind of do whatever, right?
They could do whatever at this point. So
true.
But overall, I don't think brand oh, sorry, Dan, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Overall, I don't think branding is really for sponsorships and brand deals. Is more, I think Rob kind of touched on this, is more for just if someone was to come across you on Facebook or come across like something that you posted on Twitter, they'll know like, oh, that looks familiar, and they can associate the type of logo, type of images, or the type of font that you use to you, or things that you do. Branding could be things that you say. My branding, like it could be anything that sets you apart from the next person, the next family, the next channel that's doing something similar. So it just depends. I think people like what brand deals when it comes to me, that the brands that come to me, they find me from specific videos. Like they will see, hey, I watched this video. I saw this video where you did this review. I want to work with you because of this. So it didn't have necessarily to do with me as a brand as a whole. I'm How when I'm done speaking.
Looks as if the Rambling Rose is in the wrong live stream here. If you want to go into the Starbucks live stream and order your coffee, then I suggest you do that. Who is Sarah? That's what I want to know.
Cappuccino right now.
This is why we click on ones that say question, because there's other conversation.
Sarah, can you get back to the Rambling Rose, please?
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to find another question here. We have a whole bunch, but we've covered a lot of this. I do encourage folks to go back if they're just getting here to watch earlier parts of the live stream.
Somebody said, why haven't you uploaded in 3 weeks?
Yeah. Why, Dan? Come on.
I tested something on my original channel and it didn't do what I wanted it to do, so I stopped because I'm a baby. No,
I thought we were talking about the vidIQ channel where you'd not uploaded for 3 weeks. So you tested something on your Vortac channel.
Yeah. I'm always it's a testing ground now.
Yeah.
Was it 3 weeks since I let my last vidIQ upload?
I don't know. I thought it was about a fortnight.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like 3 weeks. More coming soon. All right, let's see. We're all really quiet, looking for questions.
Yeah, trying to find Sarah and her coffee.
you're just totally distracted.
Yeah. Is it this?
They're still talking about coffee.
There we go. She doesn't have an espresso machine. So I've sent you a virtual cappuccino. Okay. Do we get, like Uber Eats and Skip the Dishes take a massive cut out of a transaction of a delivery there? Can vidIQ take an emoji delivery transaction from that?
Yeah, we ought to start. Here you go, Hawa. This one's just for you. How do I make videos where I talk about a certain subject, make it interesting?
I make videos where I talk about a certain subject and make it interesting. Make it interesting.
It just sounded like a vlog channel, right? They want to turn on the camera and they just want to talk and have people watch it.
You just have to, I would say, bring something interesting, a certain aspect to it. If you search other vlogging channels or channels that you specifically watch and what interests you about them, what do they bring to the table that makes you want to click on their channel every time they upload, or their video every time they upload. So I would say just kind of figure out what's something interesting about you, or something interesting that you could bring to the table or talk about, and then kind of make videos off of that and play with that.
Why have you chosen vidIQ to help you on your YouTube journey? Is it purely because of the education that we provide, or is there something more that keeps you coming back for more? I always ask this question with a little bit of trepidation, but usually it's because people say things like we trust Rob and Dan, or because we're entertaining, which kind of adds extra value, makes the education interesting. Or if it's not us, why do you choose channel makers, or why do you choose Film Booth? Like, I can tell you why I choose Film Booth, because Ed makes astonishing content that is edited to an unbelievable level, and he tells amazing stories. That's why I keep giving him cheeky little promotions during all of it live streams that we're watching.
Yeah, I think if you're going to turn on the camera and talk about something you're interested in, you have to remember that the people out there that are going to get that recommended to them don't know who you are. And if you title and thumbnail your video, if you pitch the video as like, Bob talks baseball cards, like, what about them? But can you focus on something more interesting? Did you collect a rare baseball card? You know what I mean? Like, what's the most interesting thing in the video? What's the most interesting thing about your interests that you can bring to the table? And that video can become more searchable and more shareable.
On top of all of the YouTube stuff that we've discussed in the last 2 hours, you've also found out which is the most popular Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. We tried to sell Dan's cat for $2 million. We've had virtual coffees being handed around. And we've also learned that many of the things that Howard does in her daily life almost kill her, be it building a farmhouse or trying to draw little images in sequined pillows. These are all very arduous tasks. And I hope that extra value and entertainment that you gained is what makes this live stream interesting.
Don't forget
elements of storytelling too.
Yes. This is all stuff that you can. I always talk about, I don't want to say leveling up, but that's the only word I can use right now. Investing in yourself. You can do that by purchasing vidIQ and getting 30% off for 3 months. You can do that by going to the vidIQ Academy and learning about how to make better thumbnails. You can be searching on YouTube to up your editing game, become a better storyteller. Investing in yourself doesn't even necessarily mean you have to open your wallet in that case. So make these little investments, be patient with yourself, be patient with the process, and over time, things will click. It'll all make sense. We do need to be heading out. Any final thoughts for anyone before we take off?
I'm hungry. What should I have for lunch?
Do we need to do a whole poll? And
answers in the chat.
Did you say soda?
Tuna.
Oh, tuna.
Funny you should say that because I got a tuna Subway sandwich last night and I have the second half of that footlong to enjoy for lunch. So it's a bit of a rhetorical question. I know the answer. But Howard knew what the answer was.
The first person to guess got it right. So I suppose that's it for today. Do we want to say goodbye to anybody in the chat?
Sure. Let's do some shout outs here.
Shout out.
The poll Dan that you, I think, put together a little while ago. We'll just confirm that. Do you ask people to subscribe during videos? 67% said yes. 33% said no. I would just be interested. I always maybe suggest this as like, whatever you're currently doing, test the polar opposite and see how it impacts the channel. Usually it's about if you have text in thumbnails, embrace the idea of 5 thumbnails without any text. But why don't you try for the next 5 videos, not asking for subscribers at all, and test how that impacts whether you get subscribers or not. And then you can find out whether or not it is really important on your channel to ask for subscribers.
There you go. All right. Calvin, we'll see you later. Wild Trick, goodbye to you. We have Wise to the Words. We'll see you later. Zinzeris, thank you for moderating. Thank you to all our moderators. I see Sarah Dawn, goodbye to you. Scroll62, see you later. And Learn, Promote, Apply, Earn. It's a good channel name. We'll see you around. How would you like to shout anybody out?
Sure. Buy short reviews. By I can't read. Hold on. Surf Fenty Surfana. Cool name, but I can't read it. Silver Snake Designs. I think you said the excellent dude. JJ for show. Money Making Chris. Let me get $1 before you go. By JJ.
And I will say goodbye to CharityTube, Brandon Bai, who's Bai is in his channel name. So whenever he's commenting, he's saying bye to people, which is awesome.
Helpful.
Goodbye to JYST2020, Cutie Rain, Zenzaris, we'll just add him in as always, our moderator extraordinaire. And last but not least is the Venki Beast. Goodbye to you too.
All right, everybody. We'll catch you next time. We got channel audits on Tuesday. New video coming out Monday. We got a podcast coming out tomorrow morning, so you're not going to want to miss that either. All right, everybody. We'll catch you later. See ya.
See ya.